ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to all of you. Today is the very first session of GEG Kolkata, India. আজকে সেশনটা ইংরেজি আর বাংলায়. So today's session will be in English and Bengali. And we have joining us today Mr. Ashish Chatterjee, who will be taking the session. So we decided to do something which is very close to a teacher's heart, and that is making and creating a good question paper. So Mr. Ashish Chatterjee will take us through, giving us tips and tricks and giving us a couple of add-ons as to how we can make our question papers better, more engaging. And I know we're all moving towards offline schools, but then the importance of technology is going to stay, and we will continue to teach our children and create question papers with the help of technology and Google tools. So without further ado, I hand over the session to Mr. Chatterjee, and well, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. So let me share my screen. Thank you. So this is our webinar. I am Ashish Chatterjee. I am Google Certified Educator for Level 1 and Level 2, and I'm a computer faculty. Right now, I'm just going to take you towards the Google Form area. I'm going to show you what all the way you can create a paper, and you can do a lot of things on the Google Form area. So all over the area in Bengali language also means আমরা একটুখানি জিনিসগুলো বুঝবো how exactly we can create a form, how we can create a form which can helpful for us for creation of paper or drafting of paper. Same format, how different type of questions you can include, all the different type of the settings you can allow. You can share your paper or the forms with your students. Later on you can print it, like these days as the schools are getting open, so we can go online and offline as a hybrid mode, and there we can print the all sort of settings. So let me move ahead and show you the part. So this area, as you can see, we have very first thing, that is আপনি একটা ফর্মটাকে বানাবে কি করে, means you have to understand like how you can create a form. If you know already, then it's not a problem at all. You just need to go through the form area, and in forms you have to click create a new form, and there you can create it. But if you are not at all aware about it, so it's just a waffle area where you can click, and from there you can create any sort of the Google form. Now next slide, I'm just going to make you the idea like how you can upload any side of file. Now file upload, এটা আমাদের জন্য অনেক ইম্পর্টেন্ট জিনিস. For example, let's say suppose you want your students to upload some sort of work to you. Fine. For the checking area, you want to check whether they have created some sort of work which you have given as a part of the questions. So you want to give them some sort of effect where a file upload option is there. Now they can select the file type, and approximately you can allocate, like for example you can see on the screen, মানে আপনি ওটাতে ডিসাইড করতে পারেন কি students should upload up to 10 MB, whether they should upload a file size up to the 1 GB. It depend upon as the teacher what we want to prefer to them to select it. Now let's next part just check. Suppose for example if you create any of the form, the one part which we required on this area is how many response we are getting. Suppose for example in one class we have 60 students. Now these 60 students, if 57 response is there, that means we will be able to understand that okay, the 3 students are not able to submit it out, or maybe they have an internet connectivity issue or lag or anything. So you can check on that area and you can determine. So আমি এই পুরো সেশনে আপনাদেরকে এগুলো বলবো কি how exactly you can create a spreadsheet, how you can keep one separate kind of existing spreadsheet. There you can decide, you can give some sort of settings in your form so that you can reuse those form. Certain area you can give the forms in different format also. For example, if you are working for chemistry or if you're working for maths area, so you can decide which all the formulas or which all the things you want to define, and you can keep it on your form. So now let's check the next thing is, which is very important, that is আপনি ওই ফর্মটাকে শেয়ার কিভাবে করবেন. Like for example, you want to keep your form within your organization, you don't want to make it share with the rest of the area or rest of the student. So you can give over there these settings which you can check on my screen. If you want, you can shorten the format of your form such that the students can fill the form very quickly rather than having a long entire format of it. So we can keep it short. Now there are three settings for every forms. You can give that settings, like you can collect the emails. Like for example, after today's session we'll be collecting one of the feedback form with your all the feedbacks, and there will be try to collect the emails. So if you provide a proper email and the correct email, then only you will be able to receive your certificates. And at the same time, if you check, there is one very important option that is given over here, that is limit to one response. So what does that mean? The limit to one response is একটা জন খালি একবারই ওটাকে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারবে and একবারই ওটাকে fill করতে পারে. So what's the meaning over here is limit to one response means one person can fill only one time that form with that email ID. If you have multiple email IDs, you can fill that same form with the different email ID also. So now without further more delay, let's check certain more in detail things. Like you can create any form in sort of general, in sort of quiz also. Once you create your form in a format of quiz, you can decide what type of answers you require, whether you want your form to be auto check or auto correct. So you can define those all the things. So now let me move ahead and show you the part of what internal settings we can apply. You can check over here, very one best option is available, that is called make this a quiz. The meaning is this particular form will convert as quiz. And if you check on the next window, there you have an option called release grade. Means আপনি কি চাইছেন এক্সামটা শেষ হওয়ার সাথেই বাচ্চারা সব মার্কস গুলো কালেক্ট করতে পারুক, या फिर they can get entire result on the spot, or whether you want to manually check each and every records and then you want to release the things. It's completely depend upon us as a teacher or as a parent. If you want to judge your the student, or let's say the children on that category, you can design on that area. Now you can check respondent can see missed questions. Like for example, whichever the questions they have left behind, they can check those questions. Same way they can check the correct answers also. If you untick this one, so what will happen, they will not be able to check the correct answers after a certain time. Like once the quiz is over, they will not be able to check the correct answer of it if we untick this one. Now same one is if you just check the one last one part is, that is immediately after each submission we can release their grades, or we can release their grades manual after reviewing it. So now one last part, that is about if you want your form should take a certain things based on a certain steps. Like for example, you want your student should give a prioritized answer, and once the answer is being replied, based on that you can choose whether the form should get submit or whether they should get a second form, and based on that it should start with. So I'm now going to take you on a live form, and let me show you a little bit part of the pre-built form, how it can be look like. So I'm showing you one of the form from my one session where you can get a quick idea like what type of things we can achieve with the help of these all. So if you just check here, we can apply like email ID, the particular member who are over here, they can fill the form, they can write over there. We can attach even the pictures also, like you can see over here the stars are there. So these all the settings you can do it, provided you have all those pictures on one area itself. So I'm just going to show you like on my PC itself, whatever the pictures are there, I'm just going to drag and drop and they will be going to appear on that area itself. So for this, I'm just showing you on this area. You can check on my screen, I have this star picture, the 5-star picture. I'm just going to take the path of it. Once I get the path, what I'm going to do is on this area, suppose for example there you want to remove this one, click on 3 dot, go over there, remove this option. Let's say suppose you want to add one more time, so click over here on this area on the image picture. Once you click, it will be going to appear over here. Now you can click on browse and select the path of it, like this is our path. You can click open in that and it will be going to go to that area, and you can click open on that and it will automatically attach on it. So let's have a look. So here you go. So you can check how the stars being attached. This is the same way we can have even a certain questions like required a response in each row. The meaning is we can keep our questions correct, but at the same time each response is required in all the rows. The students or the respondent cannot miss any of these questions in order to move forward. Now let's check on this area. This is another type of the questions. When we assign, you can see this called as multiple choice grid questions. Now this multiple choice grid questions, multiple times we as a teachers required it on our program to be attached as. So we need to be very careful at which particular option we should select, whether we should go for multiple choice grid, whether we should go for thick box grid. So you have to choose it out. Now audience, I'm just going to show you one very powerful tool which is very useful, that's called as talk and comment. Now this talk and comment is very useful plugin, or you can say add-on for Google Form, Google Word, and as well as all those area, because you can define any sort of effect or any sort of the you can say pre-active response for your audience, and they can enact on it. Like for example, I can click on this button which you can see over here, and then I can record my audio. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking part in this quiz, and kindly provide your feedback link. For the certificate, please provide your email ID properly. Thank you. So now once you can see, once I have recorded this audio, if I play over here, you will be able to check this. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking part in this quiz and kindly provide your. So now let's check. This is the particular audio I have. I'm going to copy it. All right. Now click OK in that. Let's say I'm just going to go on up, and on this area where I have, I'm just going to provide on this area the same link. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put it Control V. Once I give it, now let me show you the preview on preview area, how it look like, so that you can get an idea. You can see quickly. This is a kind of a play button. So suppose for example আপনি একটা question paper নিজের ক্লাসে দিচ্ছেন, and you are parallelly going to have a class in other area. Like these days you can understand এখন যখন স্কুলগুলো খুলে যাচ্ছে, so you have to do it online work also and as well as the offline also. So in this area this is going to play a huge role. Like you can check over here, we can play. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking part in this quiz and kindly provide your feedback link. For the certificate, please provide your email ID properly. Thank you. So you can find like these all the things which I've shown you. This is called talk and comment. I'm just providing you on the chat area so that you can install and you can get benefited from it. So just I'm giving the name of add-on. So ma'am, if you could just give it to our audience so that they can get the benefit of it. Now let's check the next add-on, which is very, very crucial. And trust me, all the science teachers and the maths teacher, they will be get a huge benefit from this add-on, which is called as Hypatia Create. You can just click on it and you can design any sort of the thing. So as the we have a very less time right now, so I will not be able to show all the things. What I am going to do it, I'm just going to show on one of the sample paper how it's work, and then I'm going to come over here and show you how different type of questions you can attach, how different sort of the things you can attach, and even I'm going to show you how you can attach a YouTube based questions also in your question paper. মানে আপনি একটা কোনো ভিডিও থেকে রিলেটেড কোশ্চেনও নিতে পারেন আর অন্যর প্লেলিস্ট কপি করে ওই সেম গুগল ফর্মেতে আপনি যদি পেস্ট করবেন, it can be reused, but at the same time you have to choose those all the videos link beforehand. So I will be going to come on this area also, but let me first go and show you the part of how you can utilize in chemistry, biology, or even math subject. So I'm just going to show one complex formula in front of all of you, which can slightly going to make you shocked. So you can check on my screen. This is the one of the formula. Let's say this is NaOH, fine, H2SO4. You can see how all the oxide and all the things are mentioned. But if we check a preview of it, you'll be able to see what the student are going to get. This is the way how the student is going to select it. But if you type, it will not be possible on the Google form. So for this area, I have used one add-on. So what is this add-on? I'm just going to show you and give you the quick idea about it, and let's have a look how it functions. So let's check. This is the area I have already installed it. Those who will install very first time, what you need is click on three dot. After clicking three dot, you have to click on add-on. After clicking add-on, it will be going to be active over here. So just one second. Yeah. So now what you need to type is HY. You can see the PATIA. So this is a name. So I'm just going to give you link, name, both the thing in chat so that ma'am can provide to all of you. So this is installed right now. So that's why it's appearing like this way. I'm just going to give the link. So just 1 minute. Let me give it on the area. So we have the name, this is the name. Now what it can do, let me quickly show you on the screen so that you can get an idea. You can see all mathematical formulas and even science formula, biology formula, and even as well as the different subject formulas, you can type and you can play. So how it work and what all the way you can function the things. So let me show you on screen. So what we can do is, let's say suppose you have here one questions you want to write over here H2O, fine. The over here water you want to type the type of it. So what you can do is simply just click on this area where you have this plugin one. Go to here. Once you are over here, so it will be going to appear. Just one second. It will take a slight time. So certain time if it gives a problem, so you have to certain time wait. At right now maybe it is on run time, so it is not allowing me, and the other tabs are also on. So use of it is you can type any sort of mathematical equation and they are going to completely going to do the work. So let me open and then do the part of it. Certain times maybe those plugins or the add-on it may not function, so you have to work and you have to check. So let me one time just try to uninstall and then try to work it on. Maybe certain issues appear, then it don't function on that area. So we will come to this part slightly afterwards. Now let me show you the next part that is a slight more complex. That is over here a site name called codecog.com, and with the help of this you can type more complex formula. I'm just giving the link on chat, and with the help of that you can type any sort of these formula. Like for example, let's say we want to type it H2O. So how we can type that, let me show you on this area. Let's say suppose I have written H, fine, and same format you want to keep it over there too. Subscript or superscript, you have to decide first. The if the power is going up, that is superscript. If the power is going down, that is subscript. So we are just first going to assign over there the kind of 2. So you can see the 2 is over here, and afterwards if you type the O, so it will be going to appear. Now let's say on this area, once we are done, you can press enter, and maybe one separator if you required, you can keep the separator and they can appear. Like for example, this formula I don't want right now, so you can cut this one and only the H2O you can see it's appearing. So this H2O you can write it, and you can click here to download image, and it will be download over here. So just one second, you can see it's getting download. If it don't work, so you can click once again and you can see it's downloaded over here. Now same one thing for H2O. Let's say suppose we have given water, and let's say on this area you want to attach it, you can select upload, and this is got downloaded just now. So we'll select from this area, and this is the what, and we click open, and you can see the H2 is already added to our questions area. So that's how it will look like. If we check on preview area, this is how it will be going to look like. Fine. So there are plenty of the ways we can do all sort of these chemical things, and you can create all sort of the questions. Now next part which is very important is, let's say suppose you want to type in different number or different type of the papers or different type of the questions. You can go to the word Google Word or the Google Doc area, and there you can type it out, those all the things, and they can appear. So let me show you on that part also. So just one second. Like for example, here you want one of the Google Doc file, and then you want to do it. So you can just click create in that. Go to over here the doc area. Once the doc is open, you can click on blank document. Once the blank document is there, then you have over here option called format. So let it load just one second. Yes, now it's loaded. You can just check. Click on tools. You have over here a lot of option. Same way you have over here option called voice typing. So this is very crucial one. For example, let's say suppose you have click on over here voice typing. आपने वॉइस कमांड दिए पूरा नीचे क्वेश्चन पेपर टाके टाइप करते हुए सो लेट इट गेट ओपन एंड देन आई विल शो यू लाइक हियर दिस इज देयर you can click on this area, you select the language, whichever the language you want, and based on that it can start the work. Like for example, you can choose over here the English language itself, and you
I
can
think this will be very helpful for English teachers,
right,
because we have to type out like long passages. So I think this
yes,
is a very helpful tool. I'm surely going to use this when I'm typing out my passages.
right. So let's have a look, a slide demo of it. This question paper is going to have 4 paragraphs and the 4 different divide section. Please check all the questions are important and compulsory. You need to do it all work in proper format. So you can check plenty of the area it work, and certain whichever the problems remain, that you can use the different plugins or the add-ons, like you can use the Grammarly or you can use the other sort of the things, and rest of the things are going to function in proper format. So you can see how easy these all, the way you can select the work, go to your sample paper. Let's say this is your sample paper, you can go over here in this area wherever you want. After that you can give all the details, and that's it. And once you are on the
Actually,
page,
sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
please.
This can
Yes,
be translated as well, right? Like what we're writing on a
right,
paper.
right, right, ma'am. So for that, what we can do is we can use the both the things. One is like we can go to over here, we can type like for example Google Translate, and with the help of this, what will happen? Any material which you are trying to search, this area we have only 3,000 word limit. But here if you click on, then you will be able to translate up to 5,000. You can check here as it's appearing over here. So let's say suppose right now we kept over here this thing, now you want to convert it to Bengali language, so you have just checked over here certain area, maybe some punctuation or the line মানে exact ওই জিনিসগুলো আসবে না, you have to slightly remodulate, or maybe certain things you have to do it out, certain problems will remain. So we have to overcome those problems. But why I use the Google Translate? Because let's say suppose this entire thing is there, you can copy from here, just simply from here, like let's say suppose you are copying from here, and then you can go on to your any of the paper area where you want to divide your paper in 3 language, like for example you want to keep it, and you can see as simple as that. This has been over here appeared in Bengali language and as well as in English also. Same format you can keep it in other way also. So
Right.
I
And
hope
proofreading,
ma'am this is yes.
yeah, this is helpful. And proofreading
Yeah.
is something that we obviously have to do because we are the question paper setters. And if you're translating it, I think a little bit of proofreading and editing might be required. So I think we can take care of that.
Right, right, ma'am. So now here I'm just going to move further and going to show you the one very crucial part, that is about how you can add any type of YouTube or like video material questions. Plenty of the time we have certain type of like add puzzles kind of the thing. You can go to the one video, ask a certain part of the videos to be watched, and afterwards you can ask your questions from the audience or maybe from your student. But here we have one more option that is called add video. You can click over there the whichever the way you want, and you can attach the thing. Suppose for example, you can check on my part in this area. What I did in this one is divided entire form in two category. The one category is the person, if they are going to say do you want to be get tagged in LinkedIn. Suppose for example, if they say yes, they are going to go to the section 2, which is the YouTube area. If they are going to say no, the submit form is going to appear. মানে পুরো ফর্মটা ওদেরকে ভিজিবল হবে না, ওদের exactly the half portion will be there, and they can fill a certain portion of it, and rest all the things we can correlate with that. So let me give you a quick idea how exactly it can look like if we run on the run prompt, and how it will be look like. Suppose for example, this is the way. Fine, and I can type over here. So just for example, I'm just taking my email ID, and I'm going to write my name. So I'm just showing you as example, and then I'll show you like here. I'm just giving it hypothetically, I'm using it, and you can see each area মানে সব রোতে আমাদেরকে ক্লিক করতে হবে, otherwise it will not be going to move ahead. The reason behind that is we kept it over there, this option which is called required all answers in all field. You can check on this area. এটা যদি আমরা টিক না করব, তো তাহলে these all the things are not going to work over here. Required a response in each row. So you can see that every area I have to take it out, otherwise it will not be going to function. So I'm just randomly right now applying it so that I can quickly show you the part. Now let's check a very important portion of it. Let's say suppose I have selected all the things. Now you can see in this portion, do you want to be get tagged in LinkedIn? If we click yes, then only it will be going to show the rest of the portion. If we click no, the rest of the portion it will not be going to visible. So this is a kind of option what we required for, when you want a selected portion of your form should jump to the area depending upon the questions. Like you can see here, the go to section is there, and how to apply that. Whenever you are designing your paper, how you can create that, click on a three dot. There you have options, like for example, go to the section based on an answer, and they are going to jump on the answer itself. Let's say if the particular respondent they have clicked yes, then only it will move, otherwise it will not be. Now one last part I'm just showing to all of you, which is how you can add any sort of let's say suppose YouTube videos on any link. So you can do over here, like this the area, can click on YouTube, this add video, and if you have playlist ready, you can give the playlist option directly over here or directly from the URL area. So right now, let me quickly just open and give you the idea. Till that time, audience, if you have any questions, doubt, you can let me know on chat. আপনাদের যে কোনো question থাকতে পারে, you can ask on the chat, or maybe you can write it. I'm just opening on the side window my YouTube channel so that I can quickly show you how to create YouTube based questions. So just one second, let me open my channel and then give you the idea quickly on that. So once we created all our sections, we can go over there, we can create the any sort of the things, we can design whichever the way we want, we can keep over there the settings, and they can apply over there. Like you can check already I have applied these all the type of the things. Even these one also I have shown you. So if you have any questions or doubt related to this area, you can ask, like how, like chemicals or formulas you can apply. Maybe if you want to apply any mathematical kind of the things, those also you can apply over here. You can check all sort of things are there. So this is already I have provided you on the chat, and as well as ma'am must have given the link to all of you. So this is very useful one where you can copy, you can write, you can grab the any sort of thing, and based on your own setting, you can download the picture and use it on your Google form. Either you can use PNG, either you can use SVG file. SVG is the vector file format, and PNG is the transparent file. So we can use any sort of the thing. So I'm just taking 1 minute to load my YouTube channel, and once it's loaded, I'm just going to show you that part.
And Mr. Ashish, even a
Yes.
lot of these add-ons are, I think, very effective. We have one where the time is also visible in the Google form, and
Right.
And Google has introduced this new auto-save option where I think the Google Forms are like automatically getting saved. Like the amount of questions that you have attempted, it is getting auto-saved. So those are the new things that are being introduced. And yeah, it's
Yes, ma'am,
really
correct.
great.
So now let me quickly show to our audience, like this is the my channel area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on video and let's say manage video area. So I'm just going to quickly take one of the video as a kind of link, and that link I'm going to make it appear on the question area itself. So let's say suppose this is the one. I'm just quickly going to take one of the link from here. Let's say get shareable link. Once you get the link, then you can come over here, whichever the area you want that kind of questions, you can come over there. Let's say suppose here we want to add that kind of the questions, you can go over there, give a add URL. So if you have given URL directly over here, it will be going to search and immediately it will be going to show over here. So this area you will not be able to get the thumbnail, whereas if you click on URL and paste on this area, you will get the thumbnail on this area. So this is a very important and unique, everyone should know about it, because this area, if you have given video search, you will not get the thumbnail area. But if you have given anything from this area, so you will be able to get an entire picture as well as the.
So while Mr. Ashish logs back, so quickly to let you all know that Google Forms is something which has become really helpful for all of us as educators, and of course we need to make sure that we're blending it. We are going to be starting with offline schools very soon. We're actually, a lot of us are already going to schools, and we need to see that how best we can use technology and keep our classrooms blended. So we are going to have a combination of both offline and online. Uh, while Mr. Ashish joins back, I'm quickly also sharing the feedback form, and you can fill the feedback form and you would also receive a certificate for the session. Right. So if you have any questions regarding Google Forms or anything at all, you can write to us. I'm sharing my email address. If at all you'd like to reach out to Mr. Ashish Chatterjee. And it's absolutely wonderful to see you all here and to encourage us for our very first session in Bengali and in English. Right, Mr. Ashish is here. Mr.
Yes,
Ashish,
ma'am. Yes.
anything else you'd like us like to tell us? Tell the audience. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. It's a wonderful session, and I had a one power failure problem, so that's why this glitch happened. So, if you have any questions or any kind of the things, you can come up. You can write on the chat, and I'll be helpful. I'll be very happy to help all those questions.
So I've already shared the feedback form with all of them, and
Right.
I have also shared my email ID. So if at all they need to reach out to you, they can write. You could also share
Yes.
your social handle links, perhaps, and maybe we can share them with the audience as well.
Right. Right.
So a big thanks to you, Mr. Ashish. It was so wonderful having you here as our sessions expert for a very first session of GET Kolkata, India. And like some of our participants mentioned, that it was lovely to hear Bengali. And of course, getting to know more about technology in Bengali, that is, of course, interesting in itself. So thank you so much for making the session so fascinating and so much of information and knowledge. And that's basically the purpose of GEG Kolkata, India. We want to reach out to people even in West Bengal, in all parts of the country as well as all parts of the world, so that whatever knowledge, whatever teaching practices that we might have, we are able to share it with everyone. So, right. And
Yes.
yes, it's lovely to see so many people joining in for the session today. Any parting words, Mr. Chatterjee?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be part of the GEG Kolkata and presenting the information with all the audience. So I'm sure in future also we can have a lot of these Bengali session along with the dual language which can helpful for others. And আমি আশা করি সবাইদেরকে কি exactly they must have cleared it out all the doubts and all the things. And if you have any kind of problems, you can get back to me, and I have already shared my YouTube channel also, Ashish Chatterjee. You can get and subscribe, and you can connect with me and rest of the things. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, audience, for joining. And well, so that's bye bye from GEG Kolkata.
Okay, bye.